Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? Welcome back to the Dark Spirits Dark Sports Podcast. I'm 98. This is my dad.
What's up? What's up? What's up? No more outside, huh?
No more outside. Too cold.
Too cold. So we're in the kitchen,
Yeah.
just having some nice tortellini with some what kind of sauce is that?
It's pesto sauce.
Pesto sauce tortellini, and yeah, we said let's go ahead and knock out this podcast real quick. So 98 wants to talk to y'all about the playoff hunt. Even though it's only week 11 coming up, we pretty much know what teams are. So why don't you talk about the playoff hunt? Your top 3 teams from each conference that you think are going to finish.
Of course. All right. Let's get it started with the NFC. We have, I think the top 3 teams in that conference are the Lions, the Eagles, obviously, and the Commanders. I feel like both of those 3 teams have been doing some spectacular work. The Commanders started off hot. They're going a little slow right now, but I feel like they're starting to get back their pace, and I feel like that Eagles versus Commanders matchup on Thursday is going to be a really, really, really fun game to watch. And, the Lions being the Lions, they've got the best running back duo in the league with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Currently 8-1. They have another game coming up against Jacksonville, which I'm sorry, but they're probably gonna win that. I'd say it's in the 90% with them in that that game. And also the Eagles have just been getting better as time's been going on. Just absolutely whooped Dallas. Sorry, any Cowboys fans, if you're watching this. There's not a lot to be happy about with them this year, but you guys asked for them to play in the regular season like they do in the postseason, so that's what you got.
There it is.
And then for the AFC, let's start off with probably the obvious one, the only undefeated team right now, the Chiefs. Probably going to make it. We're watching NFL.com right now. If they lose, they still have a slightly less than 99% chance to make it. So it doesn't matter with them. I feel like the Ravens probably going to make it. The Ravens, it took them a while to get in gear, but now that they're loose, I feel like they're going to be good. They do have a game coming up against Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's been looking pretty good. So, what do you think about that one?
I think that's really interesting because Ravens and Pittsburgh is going to be a division game, so the stats can swing a lot on that. And Pittsburgh is currently ranked higher probability to make the playoffs in the AFC than the Ravens. So that's what I think about that. I think it'll be a good game.
And my third team is going to be the Texans.
No.
I feel like they've started off very, very, very slow, slower than anybody expected. But they have a game against Dallas this week, which might be enough to give them a shot in the arm, get them to wake up. And I still feel like this Texans team is very, very good and very, very capable of making the playoffs. And those are my top 3.
All right, so say it again for the people who aren't paying attention. Your top 3 AFC teams and your top 3 NFC teams.
Top 3 AFC is Chiefs, Ravens, then Texans. Top 3 NFC teams, the Lions, Eagles, and I forgot the Commanders.
The Commanders. Okay, my turn. So what I will say is in the AFC, the teams I think that are going to finish in the top 3 in the AFC. Kansas City just has such a big lead right now. They're probably going to finish first, and I'm going to predict them to win the AFC overall. If they don't win the AFC overall, it's going to be my number 2 team in the AFC, which is going to be the Baltimore Ravens, just because it's just a continuation from last year. Lamar's playing good. They do have to play Pittsburgh, which is a division game. I think that the Ravens are probably going to beat Pittsburgh. It's going to be a dogfight. Those are 2 teams that hate each other. So, number 1, Chiefs. Number 2, Ravens. And number 3, this is going to sound boring, but I'm going to have to say Buffalo. Only because I thought there was going to be a gigantic drop-off after they traded away most of their good players. They traded away Stephon Diggs. They traded away Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis wasn't good.
I liked him. Von Miller kind of had some off court stuff he got caught up in. It just seems like they weren't really serious about going to the Super Bowl, but yet here they are, 8-2, first in the AFC East. So Chiefs, Ravens, then Bills. NFC, I'm gonna say Eagles. Then I'm gonna go Lions, just because I feel like Lions should have went to the Super Bowl last season. They blew out the 49ers the first half, and then just something happened. So I think they're highly motivated. They don't seem to be in the slump. If anything, like that's a team that seems like they're playing better week after week. So Eagles, Lions. For my third team, I know you picked the Commanders, but I'm gonna go for the Vikings, who are 7-2. They're second in the NFC North. So the reason I'm saying that is the Commanders have been a great story, but I just think they're not an experienced team as far as going into the playoffs. I said the same thing a couple weeks ago. Because they were so horrible last year, they've had a relatively easy schedule. And I just think as we get closer toward the playoffs, we're gonna see more about who it is they really are. So again, to recap, AFC, my top three teams: Chiefs, Ravens, Bills; NFC, Eagles, Lions, and Vikings. Sorry, 98.
Yeah, I mean the Vikings do have like 4 free games coming up that they should win without a doubt. So
I mean, yes, that's why I'm saying that.
that's
So,
also probably going to give them a pretty big boost.
so why don't you go ahead and segue into our picks for this week? Why don't you start off with what you think is going to happen with the Chiefs and the Bills, which I think is the biggest game of the week.
Oh, I feel like the Bills are going to win this one. Mostly because Patrick Mahomes has not been playing anywhere near his best. And this has happened every year for the past 3 seasons, so I'm going to go with a safe bet and say that it's going to continue on. We'll see, but right now I'm tipping towards the Bills.
This game is in Buffalo, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Which will be a rematch of the playoff game last winter, where the guy missed the kick.
Faithful wide right.
The guy missed the kick, so that was when at the end they were throwing ice and stuff at Patrick, which I thought was fun. I mean, hey, he's an NFL player, so yes, they're looking forward to this. They have it penciled in. Do you think they're going to play that same kicker?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's pretty much the only person they have. So
Chiefs and Bills rematch of that wasn't the AFC Championship game. It was the game before that. So that I think you're going for Bills. This is going to be tough. I'm going to go for Buffalo on this one also. Only because I just think that the luck has to run out at some point for Kansas City.
Oh yes, they've been getting lucky wins throughout this entire
I mean,
season.
it's not like, they were gifted. They played hard, but just like
it's been dirty wins.
That kick at the missed kick. I mean, there's been a lot of extraordinary things happening this season at Kansas City for them to be 9-0, and I just, I believe in statistics and probability. I just don't think that doesn't hold up. You got two teams, Chiefs are 9-0, Bills are 8-2. Chiefs are first in the AFC West. Bills are first in the AFC East. So I think it's going to be a close game like they always are. It's going to come down to the wire, but I'll go Bills on that one. So let's segue into our other prediction for this week. Why don't you talk about Eagles at the Washington Commanders? Ooh. Amazon Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, the Eagles are probably going to win this one, mainly because of the Eagle defense, which has been playing out of its mind recently. The defensive line is probably top 2, top 3 in the league. I feel like they're gonna have a tough time containing Jaden Daniels, But if they can, that shuts down that shuts down a decent proportion of their offense. If they can contain him, the corners on the backside can do their job because we already have a really, really, really solid secondary with 2 rookies and a
We
veteran.
do.
Those 2 rookies are probably 2 of the best rookies that Philadelphia has ever seen. So
Yeah. You think Brian Robinson is going to be able to run on that D line?
I feel like if he does, it'll be very little compared to what we're used to seeing out of him this season.
Yeah. I like the Eagles' offensive line against the Commanders' defensive line. I like that matchup.
Especially because Jordan Mailata is now back. So that makes that running offense that was already super good, and the pass protection, which has also been really, really good, even better when we've got probably, I'd say, one of the top left tackles.
Probably.
Even though he's severely underrated, in my opinion.
Yep. I'm going to agree with you on this one. I'm going for the Eagles. I think the Eagles' defense is going to win this game. I'm fully expecting there to be like a pick six or something. It's not going to be a blowout. I think
they'll go blow for blow. I feel like it'll either be a really, really, really high scoring game or a really, really low. Like I'm talking like 48-40 or 46-48 or 14-7 or 13-7.
Yeah, I agree. Jaden Daniels is awesome. I wish him the best of luck. But for the reasons, like I said before, I think they've had a relatively easy schedule. I just think on paper, the Eagles are a better team, even though they're playing at Commanders. But hey, they're in the same division, so they get to play each other again. So it looks like we're in unison on this one. For Bills, Kansas City, we're both saying Bills. And for Eagles at Commanders, we're both saying Eagles. So I think we got these two right. We'll talk about it next week. Why don't you go ahead and close this out for this week?
Wait. Oh my gosh.
Dallas Cowboys at the Houston Texans. Houston Texans currently are in the playoff hunt. They're number 4 overall. They currently have a 97% chance of making the playoffs. And even if they lose this game, they're still at 93%. So
Dallas, you guys have a current percent chance of making the playoffs at 2%. And if you lose this game, it drops to 1.
So who's throwing the ball? Because Dak's out, right?
It's Cooper Rush.
Okay, Cooper Rush.
He's one of the best backups in the league, which isn't saying much. Because he was absolutely terrible during that Eagles game.
This is probably gonna be.
This is gonna be the backbreaker. This is even like the little faith. I have a Cowboys fan that goes to my school that I'm friends with. He said that if they lose this next game, his faith is completely gone for this year.
Hey, he's a good fan because if he hasn't lost faith already, with them sitting at 3-6, then okay, all right, I respect that. But yeah, this should be a fun game. Probably not for the Cowboys. I don't see how Houston loses this game. I see them winning by like 2 touchdowns here.
I see them winning by, I'm going to be honest, the secondary for Dallas is not good at all. And when Micah Parsons gets tired, the whole thing falls apart.
Oh, boy.
And we saw that during that last game. Micah got tired instantly. 30 points in the second half, I think.
That was
30-plus points in the second half. Absolutely crazy. And I feel like this Houston's passing attack is going to brutalize Dallas's corners. And Micah is going to get tired again trying to work through Houston's not as good as Philadelphia, but they're definitely a very underrated unit. They're pretty good.
If the Texans lose this game, it's going to make me lose a lot of respect for them. But, hey.
It doesn't really matter for them. They only drop to a 93. Dallas, I already told you guys, if you lose this game, your playoff probability goes from 2% to 1%. And I'm pretty sure that's because it actually doesn't go lower than 1%.
Right, you're right. Because it's never 0 chance.
Unless you get fully eliminated one.
Yeah, there's always a chance.
But on the upside, if you win, you have a 5% chance.
Listen, this season's over for them. Shout out to your boy who's a Cowboys fan. But because we're saying all of this, then that means the Cowboys are probably going to win somehow. And then we'll be like, oh, okay, that's the NFL. And you'll be like, how did that happen?
Mm-hmm.
But, okay, but those are our picks for this week. Thank you for listening so much, 98. Really appreciate you still doing this. I know your football season is over. Shout out to your team. You guys.
Ooh, they made playoffs. Varsity made playoffs, so I'm really happy about that. I'm going to their next game on Friday.
Yes.
We're gunning for states this year.
Okay.
We'll see.
And also, your team had a better record than the team last year. So that's improvement. That's all they can ask for. So something that you got to be proud of. Now we get to just watch the professionals play and off season.
I've been watching film on NFL D linemen, so I'm trying to get better just by watching.
Oh, yeah. My son is a genius. He scores off the charts on IQ tests. We gave him one. So when he locks in on something, just like me, he locks in on it and gets all the details down. So
I have a Google Doc of one of the film I studied, and what I said on my Google Doc was word for word what my coach said when he was talking to us about one of our first games of the season. Nice. I said, I typed into the Google Doc, I was like, when they're in this formation, it's a 90% chance that there's going to be a pass, and if the tight end is not in a 3, he's in a 2 technique, it is 100% going to be a pass to the left side. And he said that exact same thing word for word.
That's good studying. You might have a future as a coach. Never know. All right. Hey, thank you all for listening. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Goodbye. Have a great day.